We can do more than one.
Yeah. All right, I'm recording now. We're back with another episode, Sam Paris Podcast. Today I have
What do
my
I,
Uncle John.
what do I do with my hand?
Whatever you want.
I don't know what to do with my hand.
How's it going? We haven't had any family gatherings recently because of the whole coronavirus bullshit.
I get together with my family all the time.
Well, not extended family.
Well, not you. You guys are close family.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know who I saw? Daniel.
How's he doing?
That's cool. So the other day, he calls me up. He says, Uncle John, I need you to pick up a bassinet holder in Burlington off of Kijiji or Marketplace or something stupid like that. So we get in the car and we drive to Burlington, and then we're Googling other stuff and we're marketplacing, and it's all social distancing. I wear a mask, and nobody can tell who I am. And it's really silly. But we stop in Mississauga. He paid her somehow. And we get this thing. It's just a big wooden frame for his baby to sit on. It's stupid, but he likes it. So we pick it up for him. And then we drive to Toronto. We go down to King and Jameson. Middle of nowhere, all these rummies running around. Like, people are everywhere. No social distancing at all. And I'm picking up some bicycle parts from some guy out of the trunk of his car. And then we drive up to the north side of Toronto, Thornhill, all the same day, Seth, to pick up a stove for Valerie's daughter that's broken that I have to fix. See, we should have a camera on all this crap that I went and picked up. Because then I had to pick up a creepy crawler. You know what a creepy crawly is?
No.
No. Samantha has a pool, right? My daughter has a pool. She wants to keep the pool clean, but she doesn't want to do the vacuuming because, it's work. You have to do it. It takes about half an hour a day. Jessica does the vacuuming on her pool, but Jessica's, she's twisted a little bit, right? Sister Jessica? Well, because she gets up early in the morning, goes and spends an hour vacuuming her pool.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's crazy. Pool's supposed to be fun, not supposed to be work.
Yeah.
Work in a pool. So I go on Kijiji and I find this creepy crawly thing in Mississauga. Or maybe Valerie found it on Marketplace. Forget where we found it.
Mm-hmm.
So we end up, the guy can't see us till 5 o'clock at night, and it's noon. And we're in Toronto, nothing to do. So we go to a boat graveyard.
That's crazy. That's awesome. What was that like?
It's in Midland, actually. So we drove 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours to Midland.
Mm-hmm.
Way up north of Barrie. Nothing to do because of this virus thing. So social distancing, driving in your car, as long as you don't get out, you're okay, right?
Yeah.
So I look up this boat graveyard because I got this boat for free from somebody. Last year, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to put it in the water. Wow. They got boats on top of boats, crushed. They take chainsaws to the back of the boat just to take the motor out so they could sell it to some guy to put in his boat. Beautiful boats. Boats way nicer than the boat I have.
So why don't you just take one of those?
Oh, something's always wrong. They cut them up.
Mm-hmm.
They don't take them apart. The idea isn't to fix the boats he has. He's just selling parts. People just go there and they take parts and you pick off the parts yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the coolest place. Just total destruction. Total destruction of boats. So I got about $100 worth of boat parts.
Mm-hmm.
And it took about 2 hours. And then we show up at this creepy crawly guy's place in Mississauga. We pick up this thing, we take it to Samantha's house, we dump it in her backyard, and then we leave. And so Samantha my daughter had her baby.
That's awesome.
I haven't held the baby. It's always through a glass door or across the yard. What's that? I love babies. I babysat all you guys. I babysat Joel, Jennifer, Chris, you, everybody. I love babies, but can't squish his little face, and I can't make him cry because I love when babies cry. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
You know, I put my hand on their face, and I rub their face. You remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, I love it. I love hearing babies cry. So what have you been doing? What have you been doing to stay safe?
I've been doing podcasting like crazy, so I've just been doing a couple of these a day, and then I release one a day.
Did you
Yeah.
edit them?
No, I just put them up raw.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And
I got
people
like
watch them?
like 50 people around. Sometimes more than that. Sometimes I get like over 100, but it's like around there.
Really?
Yeah.
What else? What else have you guys been doing?
Nothing much. I have like a fires every once in a while. I go for a drive. I just hang out, play video games, stuff like that.
Well, you know, you can come and dig the sand off the beach if you want.
All right, maybe.
Because we have a lot of sand and we don't like it. So we want someone to dig it all out, get rid of it.
All
Throw it
this.
in the lake. Throw all the sand back into the lake. You can
Yeah.
do that. You have nothing but time, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's a
Nothing
good
but
point.
time. One grain at a time. You can pick them up with tweezers and put them in a bowl and then carry them out and dump them in the water.
Mm-hmm.
You could, just saying you could.
So I
I
wanted.
have so many projects.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you about Junk Raiders. You remember that? How long ago was it that you were on Junk Raiders, the TV show?
8 years. Maybe, I guess 8 years.
Would you go back on a TV show if somebody asked you?
100%. Might
That's awesome.
be just doing that in May. Oh,
That'd be
you know,
sick.
May's over. Oh, it
Oh,
didn't happen.
yeah.
Sometime in last January, I actually got an offer to do something.
In May, and then all this bullshit happened, really.
Yeah.
Damn.
Now, nothing might happen. Another shipping container thing.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. But Junk Raiders got bought out by a different company, and they kind of canned the whole thing. But
Oh, really?
if
For
I
the
was going to do something again, I think I'll just do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing but time now too. So
Yeah, like I think
camera.
you should have a YouTube channel. Why don't you do something like that?
Want to show everybody the boat I'm fixing?
Yeah.
The free boat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're still in the destruction phase.
I have a friend that made a styrofoam, well not styrofoam, but like a foam canoe, and he gets tens of thousands of views of just him making this stupid pink foam canoe. You could do something like that.
Cool. I did.
Yeah.
I made a pop bottle raft, remember?
Yeah, you did tons of crazy shit. You did a bike that was like 10 people long when you were just a kid. You did.
Valerie and I do it every day. But most of the stuff that I do, I can't film because I go to jail. That's not funny.
Yeah.
That's true.
What about?
People would go crazy.
Yeah, but there's some
Yeah.
stuff you could do. You could do some goofy things.
You know, David. So, David, Carol's kid,
Yeah.
Whitowitch. We were cutting a hole in a concrete wall, and we needed a saw. So I had a saw blade, and I put a regular saw blade on a little 4-inch grinder, and David filmed it. It's totally Mike Holmes approved. Brian Baumler would love it. They wouldn't do it because they're weak.
That's awesome. What was it like?
Oh my God! Some of the things that I have done this year, yeah, I couldn't put it on film. I'd get in trouble, a lot of trouble.
Hmm.
You want me to get in trouble?
No, I don't want you to get in trouble, but I want you to get the recognition you deserve because you're awesome, and I feel like that, like, if people knew about you, that you could be a celebrity. You're a character that doesn't exist in this culture at all. You know, I feel like
jacking up a house without a permit.
Yeah.
or putting a foundation under a house without a permit.
There could be a show about you if someone just followed you around with the camera and put that on the internet or something. I think it would do well.
Oh, they could have come. You could have came for a ride the other day when we went on our little excursion.
You didn't invite me.
Yeah, next time you want to come?
Yeah.
We didn't plan it. It just happened.
Yeah.
Well, come on. We were driving to Mississauga and we ended up in Midland.
It's
That's
awesome.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
At a junkyard. And then we were just taking parts. So many parts. It was just like Junk Raiders. It was exactly Junk Raiders. But we can't use the name Junk Raiders. Just saying it is going to give me trouble.
Yeah.
Junk Raiders, Junk Raiders.
Yeah. Season 2 of Junk Raiders. Well, what was it like being on
They sent me an email. I'm not allowed to use the name because I had one of those social media things.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is it?
A Facebook account or something?
No, not Facebook. Twitter.
Okay, yeah.
Twitter from Junk Raiders. They made me stop using it.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Weird, right?
That's crazy.
So what would be a good name for a show like Junk Raiders? But the problem with Junk Raiders, there was some problems. If I was going to do something again, what should I call it?
Garbage diggers.
Garbage Diggers. Or are we going to go to like the dump?
Yeah.
Garbage? I don't live in India.
Yeah, but you didn't really raid that much junk in the show even then. It was like you were just like the inventor, right? Even your title was inventor / handyman.
Inventor/handyman.
Yeah.
But if you really watched the show, which obviously you didn't, because I went in the dumpsters and
Yeah, but you weren't doing that.
yeah, I was.
You were? You were?
Yes.
Oh,
More than one dumpster I went into on the show.
that's awesome.
Not only that, we went to that scrap metal place where I was supposed to buy steel,
Mm-hmm.
and I ended up getting the junk instead. I got in trouble from the general contractor. He gave me shit. He wouldn't let me go anymore.
Because you did what the show was called, opposed to just buying the steel.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I took all the junk. So we were supposed to buy, because it had to be a certain way. We had to buy some steel,
Mm-hmm.
and we went to this place to buy the steel. It was my task, but when we were there, we saw for our money, we could get twice as much if we bought scrap.
Mm-hmm.
And because we were going to cut it up anyways, what was the difference? I thought. Anyways, I made a decision. It was the wrong decision according to the show guys.
So what was the difference? What was the reason for saying that was a bad thing to do?
Because they told me to do one thing and I did a different thing.
Oh, so like you did, like they weren't, you like getting, it's not like you fucked anything up, you just didn't listen to their instructions was the problem.
Right. But if you really look at the show, we had more steel than we needed. I did a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I did a good thing. We had a lot more stuff than we would have had if I'd bought the other stuff.
Yeah.
I think. Well, I don't know. You know what?
Mhm.
It's too late now. It was too late right then when I said to the guy, sure, we want that stuff. We want all that stuff instead of the new stuff. Yeah. I got put in the penalty box.
How'd you go about like getting on the show in the first place?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Hmm.
So somehow I got in touch with Proper Television was the name of the company. So Proper TV. And they were doing recruitment. What do they call it? Casting. They were doing casting. And so this girl, Jenny Stevens, yeah, that's her name. We talked, and oh yeah, I sent a video. Oh, I sent the video. It's on YouTube. You can go and YouTube it. Junk Raiders.
I'll link it in the description.
John Johnson, Junk Raiders. My application video that's how I got on the show. And it was all stuff that I did, like I'm still doing right now,
Mm-hmm.
but it's semi-illegal. And if I say it, there's people who get in trouble, but I built a foundation underneath a building with the sand that was underneath the building. That's what we used to mix all the concrete with the sand that was there.
Wow, that's awesome.
That was pretty cool. And then we did a lot of other things too. And I made a methane digester. So I had this, my brother Jimmy worked at some hotel, cleaning hotels. And he would bring home garbage bags full of raw meat or cooked meat, scraps from tables. And I'd put it in this barrel in the backyard of where I was living, and it would ferment. So they thought that was interesting and they wanted to film it. So they come down to Niagara Falls with their cameras and they want to see this methane digester making methane. And they want to know how it works. So the guy says, okay, he's got his camera, it's a really expensive camera, supposedly. I don't know, $50,000 camera, something stupid, right? One of those big,
Yeah.
camera guys. And I have this thing set up, and I made it all out of junk. So it was a garbage disposal unit on the top, like a normal garbage disposal out of a kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
and then a little funnel, and then a tank with water, and that's pretty much it. So you put the food in the garbage disposal unit on the top. So he says he wants to see it work. Okay, fine. So I start putting this. First of all, you got to let it sit for like a month before you can start using it. So it starts to rot and it gets, stinky and gas, and it's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad smell, but it's worth it because you heat water. So I had a hot water tank. I had this methane digester, and so I was getting free hot water. And you could only use it in the summer though, because in the winter the whole thing froze. But that's okay. It was just for fun. So I'm putting in the meat and bones and potatoes and vegetables, and it gets stuck, right? So something doesn't work right. Nothing's coming out the bottom, and the guy's got his camera and he's on this little step ladder and he's trying to look in, and so I whack it, and the thing burps, and stuff goes everywhere out the top. All over his camera, all over the producer guy who's interviewing me. And it was just a camera guy and one other guy. And it stunk. Like it was rotten stuff all over his camera. And I don't know, but that and that video that so Christopher made me a video. And in the video, so they came down and they saw that. And when this thing exploded, the guy just went, "Oh, this is great. You could do that on TV." Because after they got cleaned up, but the camera guy, he was mad. He was so about his camera. He's so worried about his camera. And then, Christopher made me a video. So in the video, he replaced my face with the guy who was the lead in the show, the general contractor.
Mm-hmm.
And when they saw that, they just laughed their heads off. And I don't know if that's probably what did it, was the video, that video. Plus all the other dumb things that I was doing in my backyard at the time. I was doing a lot of stuff. Well, right now I'm doing a lot of stuff. I heat my house with lake water.
Really? That's awesome. You're always doing tons of crazy stuff. I love it.
Our house right here is heated and cooled with water from Lake Erie.
How do you do that?
So we went on Kijiji a couple years ago, and we found a heat pump. It's called a water furnace, and it uses groundwater or see, now this could get me in a little bit of trouble too, because I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this.
It's okay, no one watches these.
Don't call any of the ministries, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, it converts the heat. There's always heat in water or in anything, in snow. When snow, so I don't know how to describe it. Okay, I do know how to describe it. Every temperature, there's another temperature where you're going to get something. So if you go from a glass of water that is, say, let's use Fahrenheit, or let's use Celsius, 30 temperature, and you stick it outside, and the temperature of the water goes down, right?
Yeah.
Where did the heat go? That's heat. Even though it was 37 degrees, it went down. So it goes down to 10 degrees. So now the water is at 10 degrees. And you say, well, that's cold. But then if you leave it outside in the wintertime, it goes down again. It goes to 0 degrees. So from 10 degrees to 0 degrees, that's 10 degrees of heat. That's heat. Even though it's going down from 10, which is already cold, to 5, which is even colder, or 0, which is even colder, and then starts to freeze, That was heat. It had to give off that heat. And what a heat pump does is it takes that heat and puts it into the room.
Hmm.
So it pumps the heat from the cold thing, and it's still heat. Heat's not created or destroyed. It just changes form. So you get this energy, heat energy, and you take it from a cold thing, make it colder, but in the process of making it colder, you make your room hotter.
Hmm.
And then the opposite in the summertime. You take the heat out of the house and you put it outside in the water. I'm not explaining it very well, am I?
Well, you're explaining like what it does, but I still don't understand like how. How does it do that?
Huh. How does it do it? I know how it does it. It's called the Rankine cycle. I know how a heat pump works,
Yeah.
but how to explain it to somebody is something totally different.
Hmm.
How does it take the heat out? Okay, here's how. Say you were sitting in front of a fan and you're hot.
Yeah.
The fan's blowing air across you, cooling you.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's electricity turning the fan, blowing the air past you, cooling you off,
Hmm.
right? And now you're cool. So the house is hot in the summertime, you want to cool it off. You get the water, you blow it through the house, got a fan, and it takes the heat out of the house, puts it into the water, then the water goes outside, makes warm water.
Okay. Yeah,
That's not helping, eh?
that's as close as I'm gonna get to understanding, I think.
No, I don't think so. Okay, what happened if you filled your bathtub with ice cubes?
They would melt eventually.
Yeah.
Is that yeah?
Well, would the room be cold?
Yeah, the room would slowly get a little bit colder. Yeah.
There you go. That's how it works. You're taking
Okay.
the heat out of the room by melting the ice.
Right. So, but like the water from Lake Erie, how you have a cold house? Is the water from Lake Erie warmer somehow? Like, do you get the water the?
Yeah, that's the whole principle of a heat pump.
Uh,
It's not about what the temperature is. It's what the change of temperature is.
right.
So even though the water is cold, it's cold already. When you change the temperature of the water, that's energy. You
Yeah.
get that energy and you can make something colder or warmer with that amount of energy.
Hmm.
So it's not because you're using warm water to heat your house,
Mhm.
because in the wintertime, Lake Erie is 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So say it's 10 degrees Celsius. 10 degrees Celsius, that's pretty cold, right? You wouldn't survive at 10 degrees. After a while, hypothermia would set in and you'd be a zombie. But when you go from 10 degrees and you take the heat out of the water, so you lower the temperature of the water another 5 degrees, and you send it out of the house at 5 degrees, you take those 5 degrees that you cooled the water and you heat your house up 5 degrees.
Mhm.
So you do that over and over and over again, and before you know it, you've got 20 degrees of heat. And now your house is warm, comfortable.
Right.
22 degrees.
So why don't all the houses by like the lakes do this?
There's houses everywhere that do it. In fact, that's the difference. Oh, I don't know why they don't do what I'm doing. Probably because it's illegal.
Why is it illegal though?
I don't know if it is or not. Doesn't matter. It's not illegal. Here's the thing. There's lots of people with water furnaces. They call them water furnaces. But most of the time, they have a big loop in the ground, buried in the ground.
Mhm.
So they have this loop, and it's glycol. So it's antifreeze. So it doesn't freeze. If for some reason the system breaks down and stops circulating, then it won't freeze in the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
So what they do is they push this through the ground and it warms up to ground temperature. And then they bring it through the house and it heats up the house and goes out cold. But when it goes through the loop, it heats up again and it comes in the house. And it's called a ground loop heat pump system.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that's called. So, but what I have is an open loop, which is also, I'm not doing anything special or different than anybody else. What I did was I made my own.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a broken water furnace and I hooked it up to an open loop system using groundwater from the lake. So there's other people, like your mother, your house, you have that pond, you could suck the water out of the pond and you could heat your house and cool your house with the pond water.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be the same as the lake. And if you go downtown Toronto, there are people who have heat pumps in their house and they drill a hole down in the ground really deep and maybe 4 or 5 of them, and they call them heat wells.
Mm-hmm.
And they circulate the coolant down through the ground and they warm it up or cool it off in the summertime, depending if it's air conditioning or heat, and they put them down in the ground. The problem is that the guy who does the installation, sometimes they put the pipes a little too close to the ground level. So when it should be cooling in the summer, it's actually getting warmed up by the sunlight.
Mm.
And so it's not very efficient. And in the wintertime, the ground freezes and the pipes are almost near the surface. So they're cooling, they're taking the heat that it gains from going down in the ground and they're taking it out to heat it up before it even gets into the house. So then, because you need these wells, they don't put enough of them in. So the heat pumps, and I'm not saying all of them, because there's a lot of them out there and they work really well. But to put a system in a house would probably cost around $75,000 for the average person if you had to pay somebody to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just the furnace itself, then the ground loop or the wells, hooking it up, making it work. I did mine for, I think, $1,800.
So why don't you start a business then? You could do it. You could be making bank.
No, because mine's finicky.
Mm.
So I have to, depending on the temperature of the lake, I have to adjust all the valves all the time. It's not
Okay.
computerized, it's manual. So I also have to be home.
Yeah.
When it gets really cold outside in the wintertime, I have to be home to adjust it so that it works right. And I could computerize it. Daniel gave me a Raspberry Pi, and I programmed it, but I didn't like it. So I'm doing something right now with a PC. So I'm going to make it PC controlled, and also it's going to control my security cameras. Like I have cameras all over here.
Mm-hmm.
You can log on to my camera.
And see what's going on at your house.
You can watch the lake.
That's
The ships go in and out
oh,
of the
that's pretty cool. Actually, I like that.
Hey, yeah, I got a web. I broadcast it to the web. People do look at it. Like there's probably 10 people who watch it. Kimberly, like just, I could text you it. I'll text you the link.
Do it,
You
yeah.
just log on and you could see if it's windy. You could see if it's wavy. You could see what's going on at Nickel Beach. There's people there. All the people who are supposed to be home and the beach is supposed to be closed, You could see all those people and you could Facebook shame them.
Have you been seeing a lot of
Facebook
people?
shaming.
Yeah.
They had a, it's not funny. This part's not funny. But they had a funeral for somebody at there's a graveyard across my street, across from my house. And they had a funeral. And it was packed with people. And they were hugging and crying. There was no social distancing. I should have filmed the whole thing, but it was a funeral. Who could do that?
Yeah.
But if I had a cool camera like yours, I probably could have.
The one I'm using right now?
I don't know.
Why? I thought you had such a good phone. Why isn't your camera top notch?
My phone?
Oh, what are you using?
What, right now?
Yeah. I thought you were
Yeah.
using your phone.
No, why would I use my phone? I got a camera on the computer.
Mm.
I
I
got
don't
a pretty good camera. Yeah, you're right. I could have done it. I could have zoomed right in too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I could have.
It would have been cool if we did it during the day where you could have had the beach in the background and stuff like you were saying earlier.
Well, if you want, if I use my phone, I could show you my boat project if you're really interested.
I am interested. I'd love to see that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it's a piece of food.
Yeah, let's see it. I'm sure people would love to see it.
So, Daniel, who's another nephew,
hmm
likes to rib me about everything being free because I told him boats are free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a
Barbecues,
free
those are free. Yeah.
Well, heating my house is free,
Yeah.
and the furnace, okay, wasn't free. I had to pay almost $2,000. And if you ask Valerie, she'll probably say more like $3,000 for everything.
hmm
But still, if we had to pay somebody to come in and put in a geothermal system, that's what they call them, geothermal. Using ground heat to heat your house or cool your house. They kill you. It's such a scam. It's a scam.
How much would they charge if you were to pay to get that installed? Is it what like what you said earlier, $75,000?
Yeah, about that.
Wow.
I don't know now. Maybe they've come down to price. Maybe they're 25,000. But we have an 1,800 square foot house.
hmm
Say, I think it's 600,000. No, 200,000 BTU, something like that. British thermal unit. That's the amount of heat that it needs to heat or cool this house on a regular basis.
hmm
So I don't think you could get it for less than $30,000 for sure.
hmm
And the thing is, so I got a hot tub for free. Yeah, if it was daytime, I could show you pictures of this stuff. You wouldn't believe it. It has no sides. It's just a big oversized bathtub. That's what it is.
I love it.
But when you cool the house with the lake water, so it comes in at around 55 degrees, it's going out at around 100 degrees.
hmm
The water right now, because we're cooling the house.
Right.
So we're taking the heat out of the house and we're putting it into the water. That water is going to go into my hot tub. So my hot tub is going to be 100 degrees.
That's so smart. That's
At
awesome.
the same time as we're cooling the house.
You're heating the hot
Like,
tub
what
and
the hell?
cooling the
Ooh.
house. Yeah.
It's going to be a free hot tub.
That's so awesome. That's genius. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's our plan for while we're on staying safe. I'm just building stupid things.
I love it.
And Valerie wants a rainbow.
What's that?
What's a rainbow?
Like what? She wants like a. How do you make a rainbow? What? You're gonna like make a giant
You've never
rainbow?
seen a rainbow?
I've seen rainbows, like
Well,
in
I'm
the
gonna
sky.
make a rainbow for Valerie. She's gonna have a rainbow in her backyard every day.
How are you gonna do that?
How are you gonna do that? I'm gonna do it with junk.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm heating the house with lake water. So lake water comes in cold, right?
hmm
How's a rainbow? A rainbow is light refracted through water droplets, right?
hmm
When you see it raining on a sunny day, so there's a rain cloud and it's misty, that's when you get a rainbow.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'm cooling the house. The water's going through the hot tub. After it's finished heating the hot tub, it's going to be distributed with an ultrasonic mist, which is, oh, okay. You know a humidifier you
Yeah.
get in your when you're sick?
Yeah, yeah.
Those little humidifiers, ultrasonic humidifier.
hmm
I'm going to make a big ass one of those. Rainbow every day.
That's fucking awesome, man. Oh my god.
Yeah. And if
Oh.
that works, that's gonna be cool. That'll
Yeah.
be the coolest thing I've done in a while. But you gonna come and see it if it works?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited now. It better work.
And it's all gonna be made out of junk. Junk, 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 junk.
I
But
love
I need
it.
a new name. I can't call it Junk Raiders. I have
Yeah.
to call it something
Hmm.
and not Garbage Diggers.
You could be the junk wizard or something like that. I don't know. Something. We'll think of
No,
something.
no, no. I don't want it to be me. I don't want it to be me. I want it to be a team like it was on Junk Raiders. I loved
Okay.
that show. It was fantastic.
I feel like you didn't get enough of the spotlight, though. I think a show just about you would have been better.
I don't agree.
Hmm.
I think it has to be all those people, all those different ideas. You can't do it with just one person. It has to be a team. It has to be.
Hmm.
That's what I thought that was fantastic. The team part of it. Because everybody did something different. We had that electronics guy wearing a kilt.
Mhm.
Yeah. Paul. We had Gordy jumping stuff. We had Gary.
Who was the guy that
Yeah.
actually came to Taps? That guy was cool.
Yeah, the welder.
hmm
Yeah, see, I could get that guy.
As part of the new team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, leave it in the comments what you think the new name for the Junk Raiders team should be.
Hey, what do you mean, me or you?
No, the people watching.
Oh, yeah. I need a name. I need a name for Junk Raiders. It's not Junk Raiders.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be, yeah, it has to be junk. It has to be junk.
Yeah.
It can't be like the recyclers or something stupid like that because we don't recycle. We recreate, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what. So if you come up with a name, I got a team. For
Cool.
sure. Why, you want to be on the team?
Maybe, I don't know. That'd be sick. I'm down. I'm always down to be
You
a
could
part
be
of that.
Scrounger.
Yeah. I'll jump in
It-
some dumpsters.
We could be called the Junk Scroungers.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna do it like Junk Raiders. We're not gonna have a budget. We're just gonna.
Yeah.
We're not gonna have a budget. In real life, you don't get a budget.
Yeah,
You
and the
don't
whole
get
premise of
money.
that show, getting garbage and making stuff out of it, you should have no budget. It should be
Right.
all free. Yeah, exactly.
When we were on the show, we could have sold some of our scrap metal that we got, and we could have gotten money that way.
Mhm.
And then transform that scrap into money to buy some piece of electronics or, you know what I mean? Something. We could have done something. But the concept of going out and getting stuff and building, well, look at Junk Brothers. It's not an original idea. So, I don't know. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Well, I did Canada's Greatest Know-It-All, remember?
You were on TV for that too?
Yeah.
I never saw you on TV with that.
I was on TV for about 2 seconds on that show.
That's awesome, though. I still would have watched. How do I find that? Is there a clip? What episode?
No,
How many seconds?
It's gone. It's gone. Even Junk Raiders, they took it off. They used to run reruns, but they don't anymore. It's totally gone.
I'm sure you find like maybe some clips on YouTube or something.
I don't think so.
Huh.
It's gone.
That sucks. You can't buy it on DVD? Damn.
We have to do something new.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about we build a raft out of junk? And we go over the falls with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking awesome.
To protest how much waste people are throwing away. Okay? That would be the guise of it.
Yeah.
But really, we want to go over the falls.
And
no junk, right?
And they were doing it like what, like 50, 100 years ago, and they were surviving in a barrel. I'm sure we could make something way better now, right?
Out of junk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
I think people watch that.
For sure.
And then who cares what happens to the junk? It just goes out into the ocean like all the rest of the junk. Right?
Yeah.
We don't even care. We don't have to even clean it up. We just let it go over the falls.
Yeah.
All these plastic bottles and boxes and all these crap. It'd just be more junk in the river.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think that's funny? Hey, you're not laughing.
I was laughing. I can only laugh so much. My face hurts from laughing. Oh.
I just to see all the environmentalists, eh?
Yeah, I have to worry about everything I say now. Now I'm trying to become a YouTube personality. Gotta try to be clean. Not piss anybody off too much.
Oh, that's no fun.
Yeah.
People take life too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people are spending more time thinking. So they're not doing anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it should be. You shouldn't get up in the morning and fight traffic for 2 hours to get to a job you hate, and then fight traffic on the way home. And then you're tired and you get home and you got nothing to do. Go to sleep, wake up, go to work, go to sleep, wake up, go to work. Now people are sitting around thinking and doing stuff.
Right.
You know? Look at you. You're actually doing something.
Exactly, yeah. And a lot of stuff's better.
That damn call center. Hey, that call center is probably dead. There's probably nobody there.
No, they fired everybody, including me, like a year ago. Yeah.
What are they? Okay, so when you were there, they had, I don't know what it was like, but it was probably just tables and tables of people, right?
It wasn't that many. It was maybe like 20 of us.
In one room?
Yeah.
Yeah. So go back now, next year, and it's going to be. So when I started working in the 80s, you went into an office and it wasn't open concept. You had offices and cubicles that were separate from other people. It's going to go back to that.
Yeah.
You're going to have, nobody's going to see anybody. Probably have separate entrances. They have buildings like spaceships where people go in from all around different angles.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna have their own private bathroom, you know?
Yeah, your own bathroom, your own secretary. Oh, no secretaries. No secretaries. Bathroom, desk, work.
Hmm.
I feel bad for the assembly line workers. That's why I feel bad for.
Man, well, they could quit if they want, right? I don't know.
What?
It's not so bad. They could always quit.
Yeah. Yeah, they can always quit. What are they gonna do? Dig graves?
I don't know. Fuck.
Go to Italy and dig graves.
Oh my god. Whew.
Or United States. You can go to United States. They need help too.
True, true.
Well, we don't have that problem yet, but it's getting there. Getting
Mhm.
there. People are not social distancing. When I was at the junkyard, there was probably 7 or 8 people there. And more than once, somebody walked past me. And it's like 10 acres, 20 acres of bows.
And they walked
the
right
hell?
past you when they could have walked around.
They
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have those damn little arrows out saying only go this way.
Well, a lot of people I think feel like it's like bullshit. Maybe you know they're
Yeah, I don't
they're
think it's
part of the
bullshit.
conspiracy theorists.
Conspiracy. Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so
Uh,
either, but a lot of people out there do think that.
There are people who think that, but those are the people who it hasn't touched yet. When it touches you, you realize how precious life is.
Right.
So when somebody you know has died from it, like Valerie's cousin, 52-year-old man, he was at home, and this is like a month and a half ago,
Hmm.
and somebody came to visit him who had been in the States just to say hello.
Wow.
Didn't even come in the apartment, just knocked on the door, said hello, how you doing, we're back. Then 2 days later, that guy died, and the wife of the other guy died.
Holy shit! Fuck, that's
It's
crazy.
fast, right?
Yeah.
So that touched them. And
Mhm.
then now we know that, how simple it was, and how serious it was, and how fast it was. I can't imagine what people are going through in other parts of the world where it's really bad,
Mhm.
like Brazil or Italy.
Mhm.
You know, it's not really funny, but it's, eventually people are going to make jokes about everything. So
Well, also it's like a way to
making
deal
jokes
with
now,
stuff. Mhm.
I'm not going to wait.
Yeah, yeah. All
I
right.
don't
Well,
know.
yeah.
You got to have fun.
Mhm. For sure. That's what life is.
Anyways,
Good.
no, nothing. I got nothing else.
All right. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it. I think we've been going for about an hour. That's usually how long I go for.
It was nice talking. I could go longer. I could talk about more bullshit. What else do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Like how many patents do you have? Because I know you've invented at least a couple things.
I only have one actual patent.
Hmm.
Only one. That's the ultraviolet disinfection for
You never
municipal
made
waste.
a patent for the pooper scooper?
No, I never patented that.
Why?
I I filled out all the paperwork, but I never paid to get it patented.
Do you wish you
The
did? You think, or fuck it?
No, I don't wish I would have.
Hmm.
When you patent something, the patent is only as strong as the person who holds it. So if you have a great idea, then the way to make money from it, well, like my ultraviolet, that was a great idea. That
Mhm.
patent sold for $1.5 million.
Mhm.
I only got $1 for it.
Yeah, I know. I know that whole story.
Okay, so having a patent didn't do anything for me. And most people will tell you that if you create something, it's more important to be first to market and sell it than it is to have a patent. When you get a tissue, what do you ask for?
Kleenex. Yeah.
Kleenex. First guy, right? Like most popular thing. But a Kleenex is really just a tissue.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and with the pooper scooper, people still don't pick up after their dogs. It never got enforced.
Yeah.
You know, if they would enforce it, people would have to buy something. But they don't enforce it. Nobody picks up. I mean, there's a few people who do, and usually it's because somebody's watching them. But if nobody's watching, they just walk away.
Yeah.
That's what I think, anyways.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
So patents and a lot of the other things that I do, they're not original ideas. It's something my very first boss told me. Don't reinvent the wheel. What's really new? Even lithium-ion batteries are 20 years old. They're not that new, really. And the battery itself, I'm pretty sure the Egyptians had batteries. They had clay pots. They don't know for sure if they were batteries, but it looked like they were batteries. So electric power, that's not even a new invention, really. It's just reapplied. And that's what I like to do. That's what I like about junk raiders. I like taking junk and making something out of it. So that's I think what you should do is you should just make something that people want. And if you could figure that out, you'd be rich.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough because there's so many people out there making so much stuff all the time, right?
Yeah, all you gotta do is go on Etsy or Pinterest or YouTube or Twitch or Twitter or all that stuff. People, there's a lot of really, really smart people out there. And they and nobody knows them. And they have some great ideas. And I'm going to steal some of those ideas because I love them. I'm going to say I did it.
Yeah.
So like my furnace, that's not, all I did was take somebody's junk and make it work for me.
That's still so cool that you did that. Like, I'm sure so many people out there would be interested in that. Like, even just seeing like a headline or something of saying like heat your house for free and like what? You know what I mean?
It's not really free.
Yeah.
But it's cheap.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you gotta pump the water and you gotta blow the air through the house.
Okay,
so
yeah,
those
yeah.
things you still gotta pay for it. But it's pretty much free. It's not like, it's not burning fossil fuels. Well, it's using electricity. Yeah, nothing's for free. There's nothing for free.
But it's cheap. It's cheaper. It's cheap, right?
Yeah, but if you use wind energy, you got to build a windmill.
Yeah, yeah. Well, obviously, there's always some sort of expense.
Right. Solar power, you got to have the solar cells. What doesn't use, I guess, a tree? If you can figure out how a tree works, that's free.
Yeah.
Leaves turn green.
Yeah.
Okay. See you later, kid.
All right. Thank you so much for doing this, Uncle John. You're the best. Appreciate you.
We'll do another one during the day when we can take pictures of everything else.
All right. Sounds good. That'll be awesome.
Okay, bye.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Love you too.